Hey, joining us now, we're going to get to the mayor's race in Virginia Beach. This is exciting. I'm covering all these mayor's races. Portsmouth's big. Richmond is big. Morrissey's going to win that. And Virginia Beach, Don Weeks joining us in studio. So Don's in studio. We're in now our Richmond studio at Haley Buick GMC. Don Weeks taking on Moneybags, Money Machine, Will Sessoms. He got all the money. He's got the banksters behind him. He's got the developers behind him. He's got if you want to get anybody with a check, he seems to have. But look, the developers make the money and everybody else gets screwed there. Joining us now, David and Goliath. He's got a shot in this race, Don Weeks. Don, good to have you with us, man.
Good morning, Godzilla. I'm honored to be in your presence, albeit in absentia. Thanks for having me.
I know you're in our studio now. Is everything in order there?
Well, me and Michael are having a lot of fun. He's found the key to the liquor cabinet. No, I'm sorry, he didn't. Michael's doing a great job. We're having fun. You guys are really rolling up there. So the Trump wave is coming. I just want to say the Weeks wave is next. Okay.
Weeks and it's coming, Don. I'm telling you. Now, look, you're an underdog in this campaign, but we've seen some numbers. I've talked to a number of people saying that you actually have a shot in this race. You're a former councilman from Virginia Beach. You've certainly got the experience. Tell us about the state of your campaign right now. Can you upset Will Sessoms?
I believe it's a distinct possibility. The people of Virginia Beach, their eyes have been opened, if you will, with the infrastructure problems we've had due to Hurricane Matthew. And they recognize that we need a common sense approach to protecting taxpayers in the beach. And they haven't had it with our current mayor. He's been tarnished by a scandal when he was convicted of corruption. He is moneybags, as you say, and it is all about the money trail these days. People are certainly turned off by the corrosive influence of money, as you know. It's happening across the country, certainly happening in our fair city. And I'm going to change that, and I will change that.
They're just getting sick and tired of the money influence in politics and all the corruption that goes on. And look, you look at Will Sessoms and, what went down with Town Bank, and he didn't recuse himself, and he's voting on development plans that impact income for his bank, and he's sitting on the board of directors of all this stuff. Don, look, at some point, people just have to say, I've had enough. I've had enough of this, and start to elect public officials that want to serve them and not the special moneyed interest. I mean, you look at the arena, all right? You have a council. It comes up. It gets beat. It doesn't make any sense because taxpayer dollars are involved, right? So the council defeats it, and then Will Sessoms said, well, I found a loophole. I'm going to bring it up again. I mean, why? Because of the developer money that is flowing into his coffers. Tell me I'm wrong.
I can't tell you that. You're absolutely right. And I think the people of Virginia Beach, many of those have been devastated by the floods in older neighborhoods like Windsor Woods and Bow Creek, even in newer neighborhoods like Asheville Park. People have been shocked at the lack of infrastructure maintenance we've had and improvements while our current mayor is chasing an arena, light rail, finding millions for the developer of the Cavalier. So I know they recognize that priorities are out of place and they've been put to the back of the bus, and they're tired of it. But let me tell you a couple things. I think the people of Virginia Beach rightly wonder if our current mayor cares about them. He's a member of a yacht club. He chose to send to avoid public school for his family. His Town Bank, made it to Wall Street. Then they received a bailout from the TARP program. When he was forced to retire from Town Bank, he got a $4.5 million golden parachute. So these are so far away from the people of Virginia Beach who made it great, the middle class, the working poor, et cetera. And they see the developers getting richer all the time, day by day, while they struggle with unfortunately, the Obamacare debacle, paying for their health insurance, trying to keep food on the table for their kids, et cetera. So I think the people are going to rise up on Tuesday, and I'm looking forward to it.
Well, Don, look, when you're getting a $4.5 million golden parachute from Town Bank, who basically said either you have to resign from your $750,000 job with us or you have to resign from being mayor. He took the mayor's job. Go figure that one. So that was number one. And then they turn around and they give him almost a $5 million parachute. Well, why do you think he got that? All right. He got it because he brought all this money in from all these developers that he should have been recusing himself on. That's number one. Number two, Don, this is the other thing. when you're getting $5 million golden parachutes, you don't need to be concerned about your Obamacare premiums going up. You don't have to be concerned about the fact that your Obamacare deductible went up. You don't have to be concerned about cost of living going up. You don't have to be concerned about increased taxes because of light rail or for a taxpayer-funded Reno boondoggle. You don't have to be concerned about it. See, that's for just the working class people that they really believe they're the elites. They can figure everything out. They don't care about middle America. They don't care about people in Virginia Beach that are trying to figure out how to get through a weekend, right? They're part of the elite set.
I couldn't agree more. So it's certainly the elites are in control. People have a reason to distrust our mayor now. He's been convicted of corruption. One of his previous campaign managers was convicted of a political crime. We give money to we give tax dollars to convict developers. Convictions just roll on and on. So I'm hoping, and I really believe the people have had enough of that. It's time to change direction in our fair city, and I hope to lead that change.
Don, how do you turn the corner and win this race?
We are making amazing progress on social media, and I think hopefully when we win on Tuesday, it'll be a textbook example of how to use social media with great aplomb, if you will, and to try to compare and match up to the large money cash that our current mayor has. He's gonna probably have $800 or $1 million at the end of this thing when all the numbers are totaled for a job that pays $30,000 a year. So we have been reaching out very strongly through social media. We're having great impact on that. We look at the results and the information that we get back from the social media, Facebook and other things. We look at the data, and we're working hard, grassroots. We're going to be out in the neighborhoods on Saturday, knocking on doors, dropping off palm cards, flyers, etc. Spread the word. We're just asking everybody to help us spread the word. We've got yard signs for people still. We'll have people working the polls on Tuesday. So it's a grassroots effort, and that's what made America great, and we're going to continue to do that.
I mean, think about this. Will Sessoms' campaign is going to spend upwards of $1 million to potentially win a mayor's race that pays $30,000. So basically a part-time salary. You got to spend $1 million for this. I mean, it's obscene amount of money. And you got to ask yourself, who is funding this, right? You look at VPAC, you can see who the funders are, right?
Sure.
All the developers, all the banksters. I mean, because they have a vested interest. Who's funding the Don Weeks campaign?
Well, I received a call several weeks ago, which was a pleasant surprise. My former pastor called me and said, hey, I don't have any time to help you right now, but I'd love to give some money to your campaign. And he said he just settled his mother's estate, and he said with $1,000 help, and that was just a tremendous lift for me. So I've got people helping me, my former pastor, friends and family, people that believe in me, have known me all my life. I've grown up in Kempsville. I've been in the beach all my life. I'm a small businessman, so they understand the challenges of running a small business today, and they recognize that I want to just focus on bringing openness and honesty back to Virginia Beach. Transparency is what we need. So they recognize that. The people that are supporting me are they're not the wealthy developers. They simply don't want to return phone calls these days. So I understand that. I understand how the game is played because I have been on council before, and I've seen it at its zenith, if you will, how the game is played.
All right. We want to wish the best of luck to Don Weeks. He's a mayoral candidate in Virginia Beach going up against the Will Sessoms money bag machine. You know, why I think you got a shot is light rail is running 50-50, right? There's a plebiscite there, a referendum.
Correct.
It's about even. I don't know who's going to win that. But to me, if you're not voting in favor of light rail, you're not going to vote for Mayor Sessoms. I mean, because he's in favor of it.
Right.
So
he has staked his career on that, and I think that may harm him. The breaking news last night out of D.C. was that, in the Washington Post, was that they've asked for the metro to be taken over by the federal government for oversight because there's so many challenges there, unions, you can't fire people, corruption, etc. So transit in America needs to be improved. We got to stop the corruption. So our mayor has staked his whole career on light rail. I think he's going to have a surprise on Tuesday.
All right, we're going to keep following it. I want to thank Don Weeks for being with us, Don. It's always a pleasure to have you on. Thank you for your candor. This is the John Fredericks Radio Network. Don Weeks running for mayor in Virginia Beach. That'll be settled on Tuesday, November 8th. Keep it right here on the John Fredericks Radio Network. The truth, my friends, will set you free.